Well, joining us now is Scott Anderson, the Director of Affairs for the UNRWA and Deputy Humanitarian Coordinator. He joins us from central Gaza. He is near the Newsroom refugee camp. Good to have you with us. Look, I want to ask you, obviously, about the attack we were just learning about, but also the fact that Israel's military has now extended its evacuation order for all of Gaza City, calling it a dangerous combat zone. What's your response to that, and how will it impact the Palestinians that have already been displaced many times over?
Said most Palestinians in Gaza have been displaced once, twice, some as many as 10 times. This is just the latest in a series of displacements for them as people try to seek safety for themselves and for their families. And what we're going to see is what's an already crowded area in the middle of Gaza and the IDF declared humanitarian zone become even more crowded. We've already seen thousands of people moving from the north to the south through the checkpoint. We do expect that movement will continue today. And what we're focused on right now is greeting these people, trying to determine their condition, if they need health care, and then trying to direct them where they can hopefully find safety and aid.
You, of course, have been in war zones in places like Afghanistan. How does this situation compare? A war in a place where people can't really flee to any safe area. How would you describe what you're seeing?
I mean, what we're seeing first is widespread destruction. Where I sit and where I travel across Gaza, it looks like something out of a dystopian movie set. The destruction really is quite incredible. And it's a very small area. And unlike Afghanistan or Ukraine or other places, there's really nowhere for people to find safety. It's a small area, 365 square kilometers. And people are moving literally just a kilometer or two away from what is a very active combat zone to try to find safety for themselves and their families. So the biggest difference between this and any other context I've been in is there's really nowhere that's safe, and there's nowhere that people can go with their families to find safety.
Scott, the US is set to resume its high payload bombs to Israel, sending 500-pound bombs while keeping the 2,000 bombs on hold. What could that mean for this war?
I can't really speak to, I guess, strategy or impact of munitions, but what I will say is that where the UN operates or where hospitals operate, we'd ask all parties to the conflict to respect the sanctity of those installations where people are trying to find safety, where people are trying to find health care, and that the operations are carried out in such a way that maximizes the protection of civilians. So those innocents that are caught in this conflict can find safety for themselves and for their families.
We know the negotiations have been going on in Qatar, and about 120 hostages are thought to still be in Gaza. What would be the best outcome to these negotiations? What is your message to those negotiating?
Well, the first thing is we need a ceasefire. That includes the return of the hostages who've been away from their families for over 9 months, and give people in Gaza, a break or respite from the combat, and that we can start rebuilding. You have over 600,000 children that need to return to learning. Between COVID and this, they've spent 3 of the last 4 years outside of school, and you just need a return to normalcy for people. They need an opportunity to rebuild their lives, begin to rebuild Gaza, mourn for lost family members, and try to pick things up and move forward. So our ask is consistent with what we've been asking for all along, which is, again, a ceasefire that includes the return of the hostages and the opportunity for people in Gaza to begin to rebuild their lives.
Yeah, we really do hope for that. Scott Anderson, we appreciate your time and all the work you're doing there in Gaza. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.